Welcome, viewers, back to Heart of the Machine, where we are working on scandium acquisition because scandium is required in order to build aircraft. We're also researching weaponized flight so that we can make a novel vehicle class called the Cutter. We did get access to this dinky little vehicle last turn. We still have 3 turns left for the vehicular security patch to complete, so it would be possible, if there were any more, presumably to steal other vehicles, but I don't see any around. Contemplations. We do see a new contemplation available called Animals Are Not Safe. Feral domesticated animals have always been present in the city, but you never really noticed them until you had some initial interactions with them. As happens, now that you know that they're here, you're noticing them all over the place. Mortality is terrible for them, and their lives are filled with fear, starvation, and violence. What if you built a haven for them? A large one, where they could roam in a safe interior environment. They could carry on with their lives, safe from human interference and wild predators. This requires 100 engineering skills, so that means we have to send a tech there to do that. And it's a side exploration, but that's all we really know. And what exactly are we doing there? It just looks like going to a parking lot and doing and contemplating. Let's go ahead and send a tech there. Let's also check on our buildings. We do need to make an aerospace hangar and a drone factory, and optionally a refugee tower, although this is a building that protects humans that are displaced when we destroy their buildings. So we haven't destroyed any buildings, so it's not really necessary for us to make this yet. That's something we'll think about making in the future. We do want to make at least 1 aerospace hangar and 1 drone factory. Aerospace hangar is how you build new vehicles. We have to put it somewhere within our domain. And vehicles can only come out of this currently. They won't be built at our main tower, so it might make sense to put this near our main tower just to keep it a little protected. We do have a space issue though, as this building is very large. Maybe about right here looks like it's possible to fit one in. Let's go ahead and do it there. That and a drone factory is also suggested. Drone factory is going to occupy human building, so we'll put that back in our network near everything else. We can make 1 more drone factory. It takes 3 avionics cores. It looks like we could make 2 more of these if necessary. Unfortunately, we can't make another aerospace hangar because those take 9 avionics cores, so making one of those would prevent us from making a drone factory. Sorry, making 2 of these, since they both share avionics cores. We might as well go ahead and make a second drone factory. Drone factories are going to require elemental slurry and some micro builders every turn in order to produce drone frames. Drone frames, we don't have any, but as we saw, one thing that drones are used for is the special abilities that are available to vehicles. Aerospace hangar, likewise, is going to take 4,000 elemental slurry per turn and output 1,000 morphologic lattices. If we look at our vehicle building, vehicles take morphologic lattice to be deployed. They also require scandium, so we're going to need to collect both of those. Scandium we're going to need to collect. Morphologic lattice we are producing in the aerospace hangar. So let's take a look at our scandium collection. For now, we need to beat some scrap scandium out of military troop carriers. We know from before that when we turned forces view on, we saw military troop carriers there. High altitude military transport, a military troop carrier, and military troop carrier here. These things have some armor plating, but not a lot, and it's only these 2. This one here from Vorsiber, which we don't like, and this one here from also Vorsiber, so we'd be directly attacking Vorsiber's vehicles there. Also, I'm noticing all of the doggos suddenly. There's more feral dachshunds, feral Tatra sheepdog, and some feral Dobermans. We also have a high altitude red military transport way out here in the no man's land outside the city. Let's turn this off and plan what we're going to do this turn. So we do want to spend some resources reducing the cost of this reducing the turn count of this because it does take 6 turns. We also want to reduce these. These only take 3 turns. I'd like to have some drones sooner rather than later. So let's start by sending you here to work on a drone factory for us. That leaves us with 1 mental energy, so we might as well use that one to take another turn off of this other drone factory. We're not going to build anything more this turn. We have no more mental energy, so let's advance to turn 45. Turn 45. 2 more turns on the vehicular security patch. And we want to send a tech droid over to the contemplation site we just noticed, which is now up here. That's going to take 4 mental energy, so let's go get started on that immediately. We already read this. We're going to design new buildings. We unlocked research for doing that, I think, but the new buildings that we designed were the Animal Palace and Dog Rescue. Dog Rescue is a minor mechanic. Your androids are now able to rescue feral dogs and send them to our Animal Palace. Dogs are frightened by the smell of androids. Even when you rescue them, they keep their distance from you. That's too bad. You can now make a Animal Palace, which is a massive structure with safe quarters, plenty of food, and plenty of stimulation for any feral animals you rescue. Includes partitions to keep incompatible species and breeds separated. So let's take a look at that. Animal Palace costs 3,001 microbuilders, so I believe we can make it immediately. Let's take a look at where we're going to put that. Maybe somewhere in our range over here. It is a low building, kind of like a storage dump. It takes up quite a bit of footprint, but we can really put this anywhere. Let's put it over here near this park if possible. Yeah, there's a little room here. If we rotate it, we can stick it there. Maybe have several of there. That's interesting that it just lets us overwrite this other building. Let's do that. Let's see. So let's go ahead and start bringing this droid back to the fold. We can actually jump him all the way down here and have him contribute a little bit more construction energy there. And we have one more move, so let's send this other droid over here and knock a turn off the aerospace hangar. Building wise, I think we have everything we need. Still suggesting a refugee tower. That's going to take Steward Robotics. Takes 2. We have 4. There's also the option of destroying this human apartment in the future, but I don't think we're going to need the refugee tower for now. Let's leave that unbuilt. We still want scandium acquisition. We're going to take a look at scandium next turn. We do have 2 researches to do, so we're going to continue with small arms research for 2 turns. And let's take a look, starting out this turn with scandium. Now, everyone except this PMC are on board the military transport, so let's move him there. So, sorry, that's not a military, that's a delivery craft. So, this delivery craft now has 3 units on it, which it can unload. And we want to change the view to scavenging sites and to see where they are. So there's one right here, right next to us. Let's go ahead and move this vehicle right over here. Kind of want to keep it out of range just in case it gets shot at. So maybe we'll move it in front. And then let's go ahead and unload some combat droids. We're going to have those combat droids attack this, although they're doing low damage because of blocked by armor. So this guy We also want to be able to be above them to shoot at them better, so I think this guy's actually technically above. Yes, but no, not quite above. Maybe if he was here. Yes, now he's above. Okay, so this guy could use consumable items to get a better attack on there. But he's only got one more turn. This guy has 2 more turns. I'm not sure if I played that right because I think we're going to be out of time and this is going to move. We do have a drone, and our craft here could use an engine drill. So let's go ahead and use an engine drill on him because that should apply the effect engines offline at 65 and drop his movement range for 4 turns. So let's do that. Hopefully that isn't a... Yeah, so we can't do that directly because this vehicle here has drone quality 110, and this vehicle we're attacking has drone resistance 138. So drones aren't effective unless you drop the drone resistance. The way to drop drone resistance is by attacking. So let's indeed put the consumable items on him. It doesn't take any actions, it just takes mental energy. So if we put one of these, we're still getting 28% armor blocked. We use 2 of these, we're now no longer blocked by armor, so we're going to do quite a bit of damage. So we'll hit him with that. That then gives us the ability to fire drones at him. Unfortunately, we only have 1 action left. So rather than fire drones, it probably makes more sense to just take him out. Otherwise, we're going to lose this or take too much damage on this combat drone. So let's do that. We'll take him out with this other drone who is going to be blocked by armor. Oof. I blew it. So instead of taking him out, what can we do? We can run. If we run, we're going to take 13 to 39% damage. So let's run and tuck him inside the vehicle, which we can't do either. So we're just going to lose that combat droid. No, we're going to take a bunch of damage, and he can't take cover because we used all of his move. Oof. Alright, so I kind of blew it. He's not going to die. He's only going to take 86% damage, but that was not my best turn. Since we're here, we might as well drop this PMC out and end the turn. This guy's going to move quite a bit. If you can see where he came from way over there, so he could end up out of our range easily. Let's see where he goes. Okay, he didn't move that far, and he didn't end up destroying the combat droids. That's good. This combat droid still has armor-piercing ammunition, so it makes sense for him to follow up and fire. So you can follow to here and get a couple shots. He has 2 turns to shoot, so he's going to do 1, 2. We did take that out. It gave us scandium. Scandium gained was 235. If we'd used an extraction drone, which is now available, we could get a lot more. So it's going to tell us that in a minute. Finished a research for small arms. We're going to use this on shotgun muzzle velocity because we don't have the option of shotgun projectile density for some reason. Let's go ahead and use that on shotguns, make them better. Vehicular security patch is finished. We can make extraction drones now. So extraction drones are a new consumable. The scandium yield from military troop carriers was poor. You have a few airframes to build, so let's try extraction drones. Build drone frames via the new drone factory, and then deploy them from an existing vehicle using the items ability. It's likely that you don't have sufficient drone quality to do this, which we just saw. Once you've researched the cutter, enter command mode and deploy one from vehicles tab. So we've already researched the cutter. We have 235 scandium. Extraction drones can be used like consumable items here, but they're used on other vehicles. So let's go ahead and see what that means. There's a vehicle nearby here. So if we move over toward this, let's make sure we're out of its range, just in case it wants to fire back at us. We could attack it and do no damage, or we could use an extraction drone. If we look at it though, it's again, we don't have the drone quality to do the extraction. So what we want to do is send a disposable drone over there, which foolishly I should have done that inside the aircraft, but I'm not quite used to aircraft yet, I guess. Send this drone here. This drone's just in range that if he had small caliber weapons, he could do significant damage. We did a little bit. We're out of moves, but if you look at the drone resistance there, it's now 106. So if we had more turns here, we could send an extraction drone at this guy. Unfortunately, we don't, and we're going to lose this droid, or this droid's going to take damage. Yeah, this droid's going to get destroyed because the military troop carrier did not like getting shot. So we will end that turn there. Let's take a look at buildings real quick before we end the turn. See how we're doing. We're still making a aerospace hangar, but it does look like... Hold on. Okay, but it does look like our... That's what I was looking for. This isn't... Our animal palace isn't quite finished yet either, so that has 2 turns remaining. 2 turns remaining. In 2 turns we'll have those completed. Let's take a look at what's going to happen with this air combat here. So this vehicle is just going to destroy that drone. Which is fine. We don't need to keep our individual drones alive, but now we can send an extraction drone out and attach it to this military troop carrier. And notice on the left-hand side there where it says gained when you defeat 110 to 290 scandium, gained from extraction is 1,000 to 4,000. So we're going to gain a lot more from extracting than we would otherwise. It says is being extracted 65. I'm not sure how long extraction takes. When the extraction finishes, you gain resources and the target is weakened. The higher the intensity of the status you inflict on the target, the larger your yield. I don't think we can do it more than once to the same target, unfortunately. Yeah. So we're just going to wait. This guy's going to move around. We are going to be extracting scandium from him while he's moving around. Oh, look at that. We do have 20 abandoned humans. The number of humans currently without any form of shelter due to your actions. They are now worse off than the homeless class. So I'm not sure what we did that caused humans to be abandoned, but that does imply that we should really make a refugee tower for those people, just out of compassion. Let's go ahead and make a refugee tower here. It's a bit bigger than our other apartment buildings for some reason. We'll make that there. And we will hopefully send a tech back to finish it up. It's actually, yeah, let's do that. So that'll be finished. Next turn, hopefully start housing those people. We can finish this and this turn. And then we can go and collect some doggos. We can rescue the feral huskies or feral Dobermans. Huskies are closer. Let's go and rescue those guys. Yeah, we do have enough movement for that. So we rescued some feral huskies there. Hopefully that means that they are now in our animal palace, but I'm not sure if there's any way to see. 2 more moves. This tech can go and help work on the refugee tower and can also go and rescue those feral Dobermans. Alright, something to do with our techs while they're wandering around. There's also some Tatra sheepdogs over there we could get next turn. We have a procurement efficiency idea ready here. Better biomulchers, better wind turbines, water filters, or microbuilder minifabs. At this point, wind turbines sounds safest to me, even though we've upgraded that one time already. Never mind, we're fine with power. Let's do that. Better wind turbines. We'll keep our power way above any threshold. Next, we're going to research Marshall expansion. Still have extraction to perform and novel aircraft. Can we make the aircraft yet? Not yet. We need 5,000 morphologic lattice. We have 0. We did just finish the aerospace tower this turn. Aerospace hangar. So it should start producing these at the rate of 1,000 per turn, which means in another 5 turns we'll have enough to make a cutter. So we're going to have to go and click through some turns here. We don't have anything else we can do. We could build buildings, but there's nothing that is really attractive to us other than possibly more drone factories, but I'd rather save those avionics cores for another tower. Our drone cap is only 16, so having 2 drone factories seems like plenty. Alright, this military troop carrier, I believe, yes, this is the one we are extracting from. We do have an enemy attack plan somewhere. Where is that happening? That's this guy. So he's flying over our building and attacking our human apartments. Great. I guess he's just angry at us and somehow knows that we're the ones responsible for extracting. So they're attacking the buildings as they fly over. I don't think he's going to do much damage. It does look like it's only 8% damage, so we'll be fine. We have an idea ready. Our Marshall expansion. We could immediately bump up avionics core and get another hangar going, so that might be a wise thing to do. We could also bump up our max android capacity by 12, so that's another combat unit. Both of these are good. This is +6. That's enough to get us more aerospace hangars, so I think I'm going to do that. Not that we really need more aerospace hangars, but having more would let us produce a vehicle sooner, and that would get us out of this tutorial sooner. Unfortunately, there's just no real space to put these because they're so big. Wonder what the solution to this is. Oop, there's a spot there. Okay, so you can overwrite some buildings. It's not all of them. Let's put it there. It's a giant building. We have no new visible contemplations. One more site that we could do scavenging, but I don't think we'll need it. And street sense is the same as always. Nothing extraordinary, nothing new. We do have some androids who could scrub their identity. We are also down 1 combat unit and 1 combat unit destroyed. So let's go ahead and make some of these in anticipation that we're going to need them. Let's make one here. Let's actually just send this guy. Let's actually just destroy this guy. He does have another turn left on his armor-piercing rounds, but there's no reason to keep him around and waste too many turns getting him back up to snuff. So let's just destroy him and make a new one. Thinking like an AI. And then what about the PMC? The PMC is fine. He doesn't need his identity scrubbed, so we should start bringing him back to the fold. Still have 2 points left, so let's have a tech spend a couple action points building this building. Double check our buildings. I think we're all good. Let's go ahead and move on to turn 50. Extraction was completed. Project completed. We now have enough scandium to build this, but not enough morphologic lattice. Our building here was damaged, right? Nobody's shooting at it now. It looks like it healed itself already. Great, because it's within range of our repair spiders. It's fine. Let's start this turn by finishing the production here. And maybe move... No, you can't move anymore. We did extract 1610 scandium, so we have quite a bit. And now we have the strategist available. A major mechanic. A new lens allows you to see current major conflicts. So we did get this lens here, but there are no major conflicts happening now, so it's not going to do anything for us. That's going to show background conflicts, which are fights between the various factions. Right now, there appears to be no fights happening between any factions on the map. We also have a vehicular development inspiration ready, or research completed. We can improve combat vehicle drone or a support vehicle drone quality. This would actually come in handy. This would make it so we don't have to punch vehicles once to drop their quality down for the delivery craft to be able to extract from them. That's probably our best bet. Either of these ones would get us above the limit, so we probably want both of these eventually, but since we have a support vehicle, let's do that one. We are waiting for one more vehicular development to complete, and we still want to make the cutter. We have 1,000 morphologic lattice. We're going to wait a couple more turns to get 5,000. No buildings to make. Nothing of interest happening on the map right now. Still no money coming in. So let's go ahead and bump our turns until something interesting happens. Idea ready here. Max vehicle capacity is interesting. I think hull strength for our vehicles is a good idea, especially for the combat vehicles. Also armor plating, but support vehicles, they're not going to be fighting anyway. And a 10 armor plating isn't, 10% damage reduction isn't really going to help us that much. Let's go for a hull strength on combat vehicles, yes. And we still can't make the cutter, so let's pass one more turn to turn 52. Can make a delivery craft now, but we already have one. We don't need to make another one. Let's move this one closer, though. Cutter, we are up to 4,000 morphologic lattice, so next turn we will have enough. There are tons of flyers circling in the space above our site, and this is maximum zoom, so I can't get much further than this high altitude military transport. Large economic transport, international economic transport, large economic transport. Yeah, none of these say that we can extract anything from them, so I'm not sure if we can. Right now we're just going to do... Oh, there is background conflicts now, so let's take a look at what this does. Background conflicts shows us all of the conflicts around us, which I think it's just the turn you gain this. It doesn't work until the next turn, probably. So let's see, the nearest one is Espia Repeaters. Espia Telecom wants direct control of some of the city feed repeaters. On property belonging to Tark, Galarian Akka, the normal agreement is for a lease. Why does Espia care about all of this? About this all of a sudden? Also very near us. They want access to these repeaters near us. In this military base, there are Tark prisoners. Prison labor is instrumental for the manufacture of certain kinds of small munitions. Tark is offended that the prison companies have fallen below quota. Exactly what they hope to accomplish here is unclear. It probably makes sense to someone in an executive suite. So I'm not quite sure what happens, but we can send combat units over there. And what I expect is it's going to start like a battle, sort of like how the dog ring worked. That's my suspicion. We'll take a look at that soon, but probably not until after we complete our novel aircraft, which is going to take one more turn, so let's do that. Let's also put this back on Street Sense. No, let's put this back on Versatile so it's not confusing me. And we can also keep an eye out for dogs. So we do have feral Dalmatians running around. We can pick those up. Now we can make a cutter. Before we make the cutter, I'm going to send this guy out to rescue... No, actually, let's make the cutter just in case the game has some scripted event here which tries to kill us. Let's drop a cutter into our airspace. Novel aircraft project completed. We now have 2 more researches available. That is the cutter. It's the RES Puffin. The RES Cutter is a small craft with a weapons platform, but no room for passengers. It has 190 combat power, 330 health, and 520 deterrence, whereas, take a look at the delivery craft, it only has 4 combat power, 70 health, and 74 deterrence, but it does have room for 3 passengers. Alright, with the rest of that turn, we do have 2 dialogues available. Let's take a look. Down here in town, we have... We want the right people selected. Let's select a tech. Tech here, we have AGI researchers. That's interesting. Ever heard of a Matryoshka brain? And then we have a different topic here. Sheltered citizens, rummaging for paper and leaves. These humans have housing, food, and water thanks to you, however, there's some basic necessities that they have to forage for. So basically they're chopping down trees to make toilet paper, so we're going to have to help them out. Those 2 dialogues are an interesting next step. We also have research to start, so we'll start with martial expansion initially. For the rest of what's happening here, I'm going to leave it for next time. I want to say thank you so much for watching. I hope you're enjoying the series. If you are, please consider leaving a like on the video, commenting, or subscribing to the channel. And I hope to see you next time. Until then, this has been Corknut playing Heart of the Machine. Bye for now.